Hello and welcome back to the Derailment Chronicles, where no train of thought ever stays on track. And if nobody has told you today, I'm glad that you're here with me in this moment and that we're sharing it together. Oh, girlies, the gays, the days, and everybody else in between. We have made it. We have made it through yet another month. We had another month down in the year, okay, and the months are starting to speed up, blink of an eye, it's the next month, okay. The months start coming and they don't stop coming, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, a lot's been happening this month, the food poisoning, things all good now. I did have a bout that I talked about in the last episode once I came back, but I've been on the Pro Bs, was on the antibiotics for a bit, and it's all back to normal. Still not good with chickpeas though, and I like hummus, and I like a roasted chickpea to add into my meal prep meals, so that's a bit sad, but I'll give it a month or two and try a little bit again to see how I go. After I've, had all the probiotics and started building up the good gut bacteria back in my gut. But what else has happened? Okay. A couple of weeks ago we had PolAir flying around us, right? Now, last time that PolAir was flying around us, it was because we thought that there was a suspected gunman in the street behind us. It turns out it was just a gel blaster, but unless you were close, up real too close, you don't know. They look real, and that's why they had to put in all those laws and regulations, because they do look like a real gun. And honestly could be a real gun if you didn't know, right? And so that time they did have PolAir out, but they were just doing the same circle, just over the area that he was in. Anyway, this time, okay, it was all happening on a Thursday night, and about from 7 p.m. I think it was, there was this helicopter that was flying over. Now we're usually in a flight path, so you get the occasional, you can hear the occasional plane or whatever, but this helicopter was low, and I didn't pay much attention when it first went over. But then 40 minutes later, I could still hear it. And I have a look out the window and it's circling. And I'm like, what's going on? So then I go to the community page, because I'm surely somebody else can hear it, has put up a post, and people know what the response is. So anyway, somebody, I think 5 minutes later, had put up a post and was like, what is with it going around? And then somebody was like, yeah, it's PolAir, and they are looking for a missing person, right? A woman with dementia had gone missing at 4 p.m. that day and hadn't returned home. And so anyway, somebody put a comment on it saying, oh yeah, in a minute they're going to start with the speakers. And I was like, what do you mean going to start with the speakers? And then the speakers started. Okay, let me tell you, it's some sort of dystopian, end of the world kind of thing, the rebels running from the new regime kind of vibes with that sound, because it's loud, and it's got to be loud because people have got to hear it. And so they play a siren at the beginning, and then it goes, this is PolAir, right? And you can see the red, you literally look up at the sky and you can just see the red and blue lights flashing, and they are we are looking for a missing woman, 80, brown shirt, blue pants, last seen at this street at 4 p.m. And so every 20 minutes, so they would play that for say a good 5 minutes, then 20 minutes later they would re-go around. And so at this point it was 8:30 or whatever. The streets had traffic in it. People were out in their cars looking for her. The police were driving around also looking for her. The brothers went and started looking for her. They were asking us all to check our backyards. And I'm like, how is a lady in her 80s going to be able to jump our fence to get into our yard? And I'm like, to be honest, if she does have dementia, they might not, things just happen, it doesn't matter what sort of agility you have. Sometimes things just happen. And so we were all checking that. People were out on foot with torches. We were all out looking for this woman. And then at 9 p.m, they were like, we have located her. And they put up, because during this time as well, the Queensland Police had issued a missing persons report on their Facebook page. And they put up there that she was found safe and well. So don't know where she was found, but the fact that she's safe and well is all good, because they were like, yeah, because the people on the Facebook were like, yeah, she went for a walk at 4 p.m, right? And if you didn't know she had dementia, which a lot of people probably didn't, you don't think twice about, this lady walking past you, she's walking on the flat, she's getting her daily exercise, like, you're not thinking too much about it. Like, we have a camera at the front of our house, and we were checking that in case she walked past our place, and so we could get a time and date just to see where she was sort of heading to, because we only had like the street that she lived on. And then when my brothers were driving around, the cops pulled them over and were like, wound their window down and was like, oh, she was last seen going along this road. And so that meant she wouldn't have gone past our house to get to that road, but we did check the cameras anyway, and she wasn't on there. So yeah, that was happening. So that was a bit scary, but the best outcome possible happened, that she was found safe and sound. Because where she was walking, there's like a lot of trees and a lot of bush sometimes. So, and like, it looked like she was heading down to the river apparently. So there was a lot of concern there that she could have fell, got injured, whatnot around there. So that's why they got PolAir out, obviously, and all the cops driving around. So yeah, that happened. It's been Eurovision month, hosted in Basel, Switzerland this year. Unfortunately, Australia hasn't made it didn't make it into the grand final. So we had Gojo with Milkshake Man, and it was quite a good song. But just the stage presence was lacking. Like, this is what I find. Like, either Eurovision, like, you listen to the songs on, like, say, YouTube, like the YouTube videos they put out, and you don't really like it, but then you watch their stage presence and you're like, okay, I get this. Like, you are really good live. Whereas this song for Gojo was not good live. Like, I don't know what was going on with the audio, but it started off and, like, you couldn't really, like, hear the background music, right? Like, semi-final one, like, you could hear people's background music, but, like, the person was still loud enough. The sound was off for his performance. Also, the staging was not it. Like, you look at the other performances and you're like, obviously, like, going first is always a disadvantage too, because unless you bring an absolutely memorable performance, by the end of, like, the 16th performance, like, you're not going to remember you. The people voting aren't going to remember you. So his sound was off. You could tell he was nervous, and, like, the staging it just wasn't it. Like, there wasn't a lot. And I don't know whether that is a budget thing or what it is, because everybody else had so much more of a stage presence. So I'm thinking it is to do with, I guess, money-wise to go over there. But, like, you take a look at, like, Sweden stage presence, which is, like, set to tip in the odds, like, set to win in the odds, right? And it's, like, absolutely insane. Like, they turn the stage into a sauna. Like, it's insane, okay? Because the song's about going to the sauna. But the thing is, I feel like Eurovision's a bit hit or miss this year. Like, 2023, so many of the songs were mint. 24, was okay, but 25, it feels like it's gone downhill. Like, it feels like there's more of a discrepancy between, like, the good songs and then, like, the others, right? And you can even see that in, like, the odds if you're betting on it as well. Because, I don't know, you could bet on Eurovision. But, like, the Eurovision site has, like, it's, what do they call it? Eurovision World site has all the different sites with all the different odds. Like, it pulls that through. So, yeah, there's that. And then, I've been going to the supermarkets, right? And you know how I've talked on here before about loving the like Schweppes lime in the cans waters, right? I think they call it sparkling water. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily mineral water. Anyway, so they were on special last week at Coles. Like Coles sent me like a thing. It's like, oh my god, this thing you bought before, through the flybys is on special again. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get a couple of packs. They didn't have any. Okay, I went multiple times that week. My wife for one didn't have it. Then on Wednesday, I needed to get some stuff, and so I went to Aldi because I didn't mind the Aldi ones either, and they had nothing on the shelf. Like lime flavored things, like citrus lime flavored things. It seems like there's a shortage on it because I went on Wednesday and I went on Friday. Still had no lime in a can things, right? But what they did have at Aldi was like soda water and lime, and it tastes a lot less sweet than the Schweppes ones because I had been buying like the lime cordial in the bottles instead of the cans, and yeah, the Schweppes one's just like way too sweet. But the one from Aldi, I'm drinking it now. It it tastes a lot less sweet and it's a lot nicer in my opinion. So there's that as well. Yeah. So that's really what's been happening. But I thought I would start off today. I have a mini rant, okay? I have seen the stats from episode 4, Where Do I Lodge a Complaint? And so many of you guys have come up to me and talked to me about my rant, telling me you love my rant. So I was like, you know what? I do actually have like a mini rant. Like I don't have as much to rant about, but I do have a mini rant, okay? So as you know, I have been on my, healing journey. And part of that is I like to go for walks that much. Like when I'm in the city, right? You can go to like the Botanic Gardens, which is nice along the river. You could go across the Kangaroo Point Bridge. You could go like along the river up to like Fallons. Like there's a lot of nice places to walk. And I get it. Like going out at like lunchtime, it's going to be busy with people. I 110% expect that. I don't care about that. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. But here's the thing. Okay, let's take the Botanic Gardens for example. Okay, when you come into the Botanic Gardens from where the Kangaroo Point Bridge entry thing is, I think that's the Edward Street entrance, right? There's a path that you can follow that walks along the river and goes all the way up to like the river stage, and there's like a bridge down there too that they have signs for, and it's quite a wide path, right? You can get like you could have two couples walking either side and still have space in the middle, right? And like the two couples stand side by side. My thing is, okay, because you have scooters, you have bikes, you have people running. Because of the amount of people, right, you need to keep traffic flowing. You need to keep foot traffic going. And people decide to walk in the middle of the path. They don't choose to choose a side, right? And my thing is, the people that choose to walk in the middle of the path, A, take up most of the path, okay, so you're struggling to get, like, in front of them. B, they also are walking super duper slow. Now, here's my thing, okay? I don't mind. If you want to go on a walk and walk slow, that's your prerogative. That's fine. But stick to one side, okay? Because I hate it when I'm walking, okay? And I'm going at a little bit of a pace, right? I'm like, I want to get a little bit of exercise in with this, like, mental health walk, right? I want to get a little bit of pace. I want to turn my, like, Apple Fitness Arrow walk and pace thing up, right? Because it's always like, go faster in your walks. You want to, like, turn this up, right, to get it going, pick up the pace. Get more, like, calories burnt. You can go further in a shorter amount of time, right? But when you are taking up the whole of the middle of the path and you are walking so damn slow, okay, like a sloth would be going faster than you, stick to one side of the path so I can get past you, okay? So anybody can get past you, and that's going either way, okay? Because bikes are going to come running through, right? So it's nice if they can go through the middle, okay? You even see the people on bikes, okay? They'll be like, oh yeah, there's people here. They go in the middle, and then they go off to one side until they hit people again, right? Like, they understand it. The people on their scooters understand it. But then you get like that. But then there's just people that are oblivious, okay? And they're just like taking up the whole path. It'll be like a group. I don't know if they're tourists or what, but there'll be a group of 3 people in the middle of the path. And I'm like, sis, please stick to one side, okay? Because now I can't really get past you. Like, I've got to go on the grass. Like, I've got to go a long way to get around you because you're walking super duper slow and you're affecting my walk. If you want to walk slow, stick to the side, but like have a way that people can overtake you from either side, you know? Like, be courteous. And then I'm like, maybe these people just don't drive because like I feel like it's kind of like the road rules too. Like, you know, stick to the left unless overtaking. Like I just don't get it. Are these people oblivious or like what? But then, and then like even walking from like the train station to the office, people are there on their phones, which I don't care. They walk like really slow. Like, yeah, go. Okay, you're trying to delay yourself going to work. Like, that's fine. That's all on you. But don't be in the middle of the bloody park when people are trying to get past you. Okay, but they can't because there's like a statue and it's like, it's only really like a two, like one person kind of like footpath kind of thing. And be on your phone, walking slower than a sloth. Okay, please stick to one side. Like, just stop taking up the middle of the path where nobody can really overtake you unless they want to like walk all on the grass and go like a long way. Like, like it's common courtesy in my head. Like, it just annoys me. Like, please stick to a path. Please have respect for other people. Please be like courteous. Okay. Like, once again, would like to reiterate, don't care that you're on the phone, don't care that you're walking slow, just stick to one side. So if people are in a rush or people do want to get around you, they can get around you without being like, oh, excuse me. But what also annoys the living daylights out of me is there's a bit of like construction going on, right? So the like near like the Port Office Hotel, and you can like walk that way to get to the Botanic Gardens. And they like there's this intersection where you can like cross the road, continue going up Edward Street, or you can like turn and people like to go past like Nordland House and stuff around there, and near the there's like a tailor on the corner like right across from the Port Office, and people will stop in the middle there, so you can't like sneak past them if you like go past them if you want to go like past the tailor and past Nottingham House back to like wherever you're going, sort of thing. Like they just block it, and then you go to like try and sneak past, like make yourself skinny and sneak past, and then they start heading in the same direction as you, and you nearly bump into them, and it was just like, oh my god, like for freak's sake, could you like move to one side so people from coming from both ways can still get to you if you don't know what way you're going. Okay, do not stand in the middle of the road and not have room for people to get past you. Like honestly. And then they're like, oh, you nearly ran into me. I was just like, do I tell them that they're being dickheads for standing in the middle of the road and not allowing anybody to pass? And like it's common courtesy. Like, leave space for people to get around you, basically. So yeah, that's the end of my mini rant. Please stick to one side if you're not planning on going fast. Don't block up the whole pathway, because like honestly, I'll be walking behind these people and I'm like, do I bop them? Do I punch them out? Because honestly, they don't have common sense. Like, do I hit them? And then I'm like, I just gotta walk past. Like, they are giving me anger issues, because I'm like, obviously nobody's taught them any common sense, and maybe they've got a screw loose that I can put back in by popping them, coming in with a bam, like coming in from behind and being like, yeah, walk faster or get to one side, like choose one or the other, not both, okay? Like, I'm here trying to teach you something that obviously you haven't learnt before in life, and obviously you weren't getting the social cues, okay? So that's the end of my mini rant. So, if you see me walking behind somebody that's blocking a path with jaw clenched, just know I'm trying everything not to block them. So I don't get charged for assault. Yeah. So yeah. If you also have the same thing, let me know. If you got the same qualms. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this little mini rant. And I thought this has been like a long time humming my next topic, and it is something that is close to my heart. It is Hawaiian shirts. Okay, this is the episode. This is the time we are talking about the good old Hawaiian shirt. Now, if you know me personally, you know how much I love Hawaiian shirts. Like, it got to the point at the blood bank when I'd go to donate, if I wasn't wearing a Hawaiian shirt in, they were actually questioning whether you are healthy and well to donate. Like, are you okay? Okay, they were doing a whole check-in. And I'm like, that's sweet. That you've noticed so much, but I just like to bring the vibes. I just like to feel like I'm on holidays all the time. And when I don't have client meetings in the office, because obviously if I have client meetings, I've got to look profesh. But sometimes I have been caught out with random video calls with the client that I didn't know were happening that day. So maybe I do need to bring like a Spanian polo shirt, or like a non-iron shirt in to wear just in case that does ever happen. But the client loved the shirt anyway. So I wear Hawaiian shirts a lot into the office. I bring vibes. People comment on it because we got a dress for your day policy. And a lot of people comment. It makes a lot of people happy. But here's the thing. Did you know that Hawaiian shirts, okay, are actually linked to how Casual Fridays came in to place, okay? Remember when casuals it just used to be Casual Friday? Some places still do just a Casual Friday, but I feel like since COVID, a lot of it's just been like a more dress for your day policy rather than just a Friday only, but some places might still do it. So I thought it would be really interesting today to dig into the history of Hawaiian shirts and how that did link to Casual Fridays coming around. So strap on in, okay, we are doing a history. We are getting into it. So the Hawaiian shirt, or what was originally called the Aloha shirt, fitting, actually dates back to the 1920s and 1930s, okay? And it started when Japanese immigrants went to Hawaii and they began making casual shirts out of kimonos because obviously the climate's different. It's a lot hotter. They're like, okay, we just need shirts. We don't need the whole kimono. So more traditional Hawaiian shirt prints were cranes or bamboo or just sort of traditional kimono type designs that you've seen. They were handmade, super eye-catching, okay, and because it was short sleeve Western style, it was like, whoa, okay, like I see you there, like you were wearing this to stand out in a crowd, okay, you are not getting lost, you are gonna get found. And so then came along a guy named Ellery Chun in the early 1930s. Now he is a Chinese American entrepreneur, and he took this idea, okay, of basically short sleeve kimono designs, like using the kimono fabric to do the Aloha shirt, and he decided to start mass producing them out of his family's dry goods store in Honolulu, and he called them the Aloha shirts. And he even trademarked that in 1936. And so he basically helped turn the Aloha shirt into a symbol of like island life, tourism, like a little tourist trap souvenir, if you will. But you could wear it, right? It's not like a little snow globe or a little fridge magnet, okay? It's like something you can wear. So then, by the 1940s and 50s, the Aloha shirt basically gained so much popularity post World War II travel boom. And then you have like your big Hollywood stars like, Bing Crosby, and then Elvis Presley was, wearing them. And people were like, okay, he's wearing them on vacation. Like, these are associated with vacation. They started those neural pathways being like, Aloha shirt equals vacation time. It's a holiday shirt. It is a casual vibes. But here is where it gets interesting, okay? And this is like my favorite part of the thing. In the 1960s, the role of Hawaiian shirts hit Parliament, okay? Politicians were going in bold floral prints. Now, it is quite human in Hawaii, and given the economy was starting to recover post World War II, politicians decided, okay, we need to support local manufacturers of the Hawaiian shirts, and so they basically said, okay, on Fridays you can wear Hawaiian shirts into Parliament. Like, it was officially like professional gear for a Friday. Like, you could show up in it. So that started giving it, okay, you can wear these into work. Like, you don't have to wear these just as like just when you're on holidays. They can also have some sort of level, like you can wear them into the office. And so this usually used to be on a Friday. And so basically they launched a campaign and handed out the Hawaiian shirts to every member of the Hawaiian state legislator and encouraged them to wear them on a Friday during their parliamentary session. So then that started what was called Aloha Fridays, because politicians would wear them. And so people were ditching the suits. They were embracing the casual island lifestyle that had been like encouraged by the politicians, right? They're like, yeah, this is actually okay. Like, wear them in on a Friday. It's a Friday. We're all about the vibes. And so that started Aloha Fridays, which has turned into Casual Fridays. But at the time, it was about politicians supporting the Hawaiian economy post World War boom. So I found that really interesting. Okay, I'm like, they're my type of politicians, advocating to wear Hawaiian shirts. And so then this sort of casual shift, specifically on a Friday, because they would specifically ditch the suits on a Friday and wear them on Aloha shirts on a Friday, was picked up by Levi's, the jean brand in the 1990s. Okay, so they picked up this idea of the Aloha Friday and they started running with it. So then it started the casual Friday trends in corporate America. And so that caught on, and then suddenly, people were showing up to work in jeans and polo shirt with like sneakers on a Friday, right? And that's how Levi started, benefiting off the trend, right? Because it was to sell more jeans, right? Be like, you know what? Like, if these politicians on a Friday are like going on with a casual shirt, like, why can't you, wear some jeans? Wear some jeans and get crazy. So they started doing that and making it a lot more money. And obviously, Hawaiian shirts were an appropriate attire to wear in on a Friday. So next time. So, like, that pretty much sort of like concludes the history, okay? Started from Japanese kimono designs to being mass produced with those designs to, you know, local fashion, Hawaiian fashion people, you know, designing them, making them, producing them, to politicians wanting to basically help boost the Hawaiian fashion industry and wear them, which then, you know, led to casual Fridays becoming more popular around in like the corporate world. So next time you see anybody in a Hawaiian shirt, just remember, you know, it's got a lot of history. You know, we're here supporting the little businesses. We're taking down the polyester suits. You know, we are forging our own path. You know, get a little rebellious, get a little bit colourful. You know, it just makes you feel better. So, okay, I do have a little confession to make my Hawaiian shirt obsession. I haven't actually been buying Hawaiian shirts from Lowe's and Aisle Style clothing as much because, like, if I get like in my pay review at work, they're like, oh, you know, if I get an increase in pay, I'm always like, oh my god, more to spend on Hawaiian shirts, and they're like, yeah, Lowe's is gonna love you, and it's like, I don't actually shop at Lowe's no more. Like, nothing against Lowe's, like I have many Lowe's Hawaiian shirts, but I just feel like I have all the designs that I want from Lowe's. Like, I don't feel like none of the other ones are real eye catching. Island style clothing's the same. I kind of got what I wanted from them. I wasn't really interested in any of their other designs. It just didn't really like stand out to me. And I just really wanted, because of like the polyester and stuff, they're not breathable, right? The Lowe's ones aren't breathable. The island style clothing one's made with rayon. Anyway, I wanted something because, like, I wear this to work, and then, you know, on my lunch break, I'm out walking outside, and I just wanted something that's a bit more breathable. So I was like looking for something not made out of polyester, maybe like a cotton or something, like Hawaiian shirt. So that's what I've been on the hunt for. And when I went to Fiji, I found they were like actual cotton Hawaiian shirts, and they were cotton, they were breathable. I was vibing with their designs. I snapped them up. And so the brands were Bulla Vibes, which, come on, like, that is the name. That is great. Love that. They also support the Fiji rugby team as well. So they got campaigns going with them, and you can get like merch from Bulla Vibes for the Fiji rugby team. And then the other one was Burning Spears, and they came out. Okay, these shirts came out to a price of 25 AUD. You go to Lowe's, you go to Isle Style Clothing, okay, for a polyester shirt or a rayon shirt, you're looking at a good $40, okay? $40. 35, $40. And here I'm getting exactly what I want for $25. AUD, like, that's converted. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I was living my dream. Like, the quality is actually so good. The designs I'm vibing with, like, it just gave me a breath of fresh air for my Hawaiian shirts. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Be like, okay, well, Shiv, if you're having such a hard time, you know, finding something you like, why aren't you, like, designing your own, or, like, making your own? It's funny that, okay. One, I did try to design my own. Two, I'm not good with the sewing machine. But let me tell you about the time I tried to design my own. Now, if you're watching on the YouTubes, Okay, I'm wearing the shirt that I designed on my own. Okay, and this is what the story's about. But for those of you that are listening in on whatever platforms they use, Spotify or Apple, if you have seen me around, you know my iconic red shirt with the blue and yellow flowers. Like, I wear this shirt quite often because I love it. It's quite comfy. It's lightweight. It's a bit more breathable. But it did not turn out how I had originally envisioned it. Oh, how I had originally imagined it, if I can English today. So, okay, let me tell you. The ultimate Hawaiian shirt, in my opinion, is, drumroll please, a Hawaiian shirt with Hawaiian shirts on it. Okay, and Lowe's did have one at one point, and it was black, and it had like little Hawaiian shirts on it. So much so, okay, that people on Facebook Marketplace were hiring it out for $25 a night. Okay, the shirt's so rare because they're no longer producing it that people are renting it out on Facebook Marketplace. But like, honestly, I wouldn't put it past Facebook Marketplace. But anyway, this is the type of hype I'm talking about, you know. Anyway, during this time, when I was looking for a Hawaiian shirt with Hawaiian shirts on it that were also in budget, a lot of people were doing the ones where you could get like your partner's face on it or your own face on it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not here for putting my face on it. Like, that just seems a bit weird, a bit self-centered. But I'm going to see if instead of putting my face on it, I could put a Hawaiian shirt on it, right? And do, you know, have a Hawaiian shirt all over, right? It'll be my Hawaiian shirt with Hawaiian shirts on it. So I went on the Google, found the image I wanted, and it was like a little red shirt. And like, if you get close enough, you can see like the outline of a little shirt. Like here, like there's a little like collars and stuff. And then there's like the lei, because this one has like the Hawaiian shirt had a lei on it, which kind of looks like horse rings shoes from a distance, but if you get close, you can see the little collars. And I thought, right, it'd be a Hawaiian shirt, and then there would be like background, right? So the Hawaiian shirts were separate; they weren't like overlaid, so you would be able to tell it was a Hawaiian shirt with Hawaiian shirts on it. But no, it turns out when I got it back, because they didn't give you like a preview. It was like, is this the design you want? Because on the ones that I saw on the website, you know, they did have a bit of background going on, like a bit of white space. You know, you could get the trees going, like palm trees going, right? So I thought it was going to turn out like something similar like that. No, it came and it was all overlapped. And like, I don't hate it. Look, I love it. But like, as I mentioned from like before, right? See me on this video, you can't really tell unless I get closer, like way too close, like up in your personal space close, that it is actually like mini Hawaiian shirts. So it was like a tropical glitch, I'd call it. So it didn't turn out necessarily what I wanted it to be, but like, I also don't dislike it. Like, I also love it. Like, it's different. Like, nobody else is wearing this shirt. You know, it's unique. I love it, and it is one of my favorite shirts. So, like, I like the fabric on it. I like how lightweight it is. I love how flowy it is. So yeah. So then I was like, oh, to do like a custom Hawaiian shirt from like, you know, a site where you can customize things, it's just a lot of work, and it's so expensive just to get like one shirt. And I like, to be honest with you, I'll let other people design it and go from there. So yeah, but definitely sewing, no, sewing and I don't go together. It's like oil and water. we don't go together, and I'm also not interested in making my own shirts. That's where I draw the line. So yeah, that brings me to the end of the Hawaiian shirt segment. I hope you've learnt something, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And honestly, I hope it encourages you to buy a Hawaiian shirt. We can be buds, we can get matching ones, and we can just bring the vibes to wherever we're going. Yeah. But rounding off with our last segment, okay, it's a bit of a hodgepodge episode, but I was on the TikTok, as I was, on my For You page, and I don't know what's up with my algorithm, but I'm just going to leave my algorithm because, like, if it says, do you want to watch more like this or less like this, and I like it, I'll hit more like this, but, like, I didn't hit anything more like this on any sort of video like this. Anyway, this guy was stitching this woman's video, and he's sitting there with, like, a pen and paper ready to take notes about what this woman's saying. And this woman's video was about burying bodies. And I was like, whoa, okay. And so he starts playing, her video starts playing, and he's sitting there reacting, writing things down. And she had to put a disclaimer at the start of the video, being like, I haven't killed anybody. I don't plan on killing anybody. This is just for educational purposes. And I was like, whoa, damn. Like, damn. And she's, like, in the middle of this forest and has a grave dug. And I'm just like, oh my god. Like, yeah, you gotta put a warning at the start of that, but also, like, I also don't kind of believe the warning. Like, what's the tea? Who is it? Like, who did you dig the grave for? Kind of thing. I want to know that kind of story. But anyway, she was like, you got to bury people 3 foot down, not 6 feet down. And then it reminded me that a while ago I went down a little rabbit hole on why we bury people 6 feet down, because that just seems a bit excessive. Okay, so I thought I'd bring you the history of why we do 6 feet down, and then her argument for why we should only be doing 3 feet down. So the practice of burying people 6 feet down goes back to the 17th century during the Great Plague of London, which was 1665. And basically, at that time, grave robbers were the hot job to be in, okay? Because people would bury you in, your nice jewels, whatnot, okay? And people were poor, people were starving, and they were burying people in really shallow graves, right? So it made light work for the grave robbers, okay? Like, the grave robbers, you know how, like, influencers are now sort of taken off, and, like, you ask a kid what they want to be when they grow up, and they'll say an influencer or a YouTuber. Grave robbing was like that at the time, okay? Like, it was the new and upcoming industry that could make you a lot of bucks if you robbed the right grave. So that was busy, right? And obviously they had the Great Plague that was going around, and so a lot of people were dying from the plague, and so the government didn't really want grave robbers digging these people up to spread the disease even more. So basically they issued what do I call it, like a message, like a PSA. It was like, we are burying people 6 feet down now, okay? Because it was believed that the, like, plague was being spread from bad air coming from shallow graves. So basically, it's 6 feet, helped deter the grave robbers, because they're like, damn, is it really worth it? Like, because they needed less bodies getting dug up. Then you also had, like, animals getting to it, and then, like, if you killed the animal and ate the animal, like, it would pass through that way. So also reduce the likelihood of like the animals disturbing the grave, spreading that. And then and also like 6 feet provided safety for the grave diggers, like the people that were burying them, to work without the risk of like the grave collapsing in. So it did provide a lot of different things, different reasons, and then we've just sort of continued that on as a historical thing to bury people 6 feet. All from a Lord Mayor in London during 1665. Yeah, sorry. Thought it was 55 for a second. 1665. There's a lot of sixes. Okay. So that's become the cultural norm. Now, this lady on TikTok was like, no. For natural decomposition, you need to be burying 3 feet down. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. That's like half the depth. And I was like, oh, well, why is it half the depth? All right. And me and the man that was stitching this was sitting there and we're like, all right, like, why? Let's go. Let's give me an educational lesson. And so the reason is at 3 feet down, the soil is more oxygen rich, which means it's going to help the body decompose more naturally and decompose faster. So basically, that sent me down on how the soil has like layers. I don't know how big the layers of soil were, okay? I know it goes down to the Earth's core, but like didn't know how many different levels there were. So basically, you have what they call the O horizon, which is the topmost layer of soil. You have your decomposed leaves, anything else that's decomposing on top of it, right? Then you have below that called the A horizon, which is also commonly referred to as topsoil. And so this contains a mix of organic materials with minerals that are vital for plant growth. So you'll hear farmers talk about topsoil, and that sometimes that they have to put like nitrogen in that to revive it after they've harvested crops, so you can still have all like the minerals etc in there to be able to grow it, or they will grow a different crop that isn't necessarily for selling to like companies, but it's more so to put nutrients back in the topsoil so they can have a like bumper crop for the next lot. Then we come to the B horizon layer, subsoil, which is the 3 feet down, deep layer. And so it's underneath the A horizon, and this layer accumulates minerals leached from the A horizon, but it has less organic material within it, so making it just purely more soil. So the layer, like the B horizon layer, is denser and has lower organic content compared to the topsoil, but it still contains some oxygen, which helps with the aerobic decomposition. So, and like for anything to decompose, it needs to be like exposed to oxygen to help break down the organic matter. And I was like, damn, well, eh? And I was like, I have also never thought about that. And then I was just like, so like, because I'm like, I feel like if you're buried in a coffin, that the 3-layer thing is going to have less of an effect. Because, but then I'm like, are they just chucking bodies in a 3-foot grave? Like, no, like, wrap up, no nothing? Like, it just raised a lot more sort of questions. And I was like, to be honest with you, I don't want to know. I don't need to know. Yeah, I'm like, I'll leave that. But it also, like, no more, I learn a bit more about soil and a bit more about the 6-foot tradition, So that was all interesting to know about. And with that, we come to the last segment, which has been my reoccurring obsessions for the month. I have been obsessed with like Japanese curry at the moment, like specifically the golden curry stock cubes. Oh, that's so good. I like the black one. I think it says hot, or maybe it's like mild hot. Anyway, any of them are good. Even like the mild one. And it's so good because it's like they give you a recipe and it's like literally just meat, carrot, and potatoes. Sometimes I put some green beans in there for a little bit of crunch. And like I usually make that when I get sick, opposed to like chicken soup, because I whatever's in that curry I feel like does more to make me feel better than the chicken soup does. Um, I haven't tried it with beef and stuff. Like chicken, I think is definitely the best in my opinion. Like I find even if you like go out for Thai or like go out and get a like Indian curry, unless it's like Rogan Josh, I feel like chicken just absorbs the flavor a lot more than say beef or lamb does. So I just always prefer a chicken curry. But anyway, I also add a bit of onion to the curry. Oh my god! And then if you get like that pickled ginger stuff, oh my god, it's so good. Anyway, coming into the cold months, love it. Easy to make, easy to meal prep. Does up a big batch. So yeah, I love it. I finished watching season 5 of You, and honestly, it was a boring season. Like, it wasn't the vibes. I think since season, like, it's gone downhill from season 4. That's because of the exit of Victoria Pedretti, who was Love Queen in the show during seasons 2 and 3. Like, she legit matched his freak. She accepted him for who he was, and he was like, no, 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 you're a psychopath. And it's like, Hans, is this the pot calling the kettle black? Yes, it is. But yeah, it was. I don't know. I just didn't really like the season. I didn't really like the storyline. I kind of like wanted Joe to get rehabilitated. Like that's what I kind of wanted the season to be, like him trying to become a better person for his son, for his wife. And that wasn't it. But the ending that they had was also like, it was like 50-50 between whether Joe would get rehabilitated or whether Joe, well, hang on. Actually, it was 30-30-30. It's like either Joe ends up dead, Joe gets rehabilitated, or it ends how it ended. And so I was like, yeah, okay. But also I think there was far too many episodes. I feel like it could have ended at like episode 5 or something. Like I feel like they dragged out way too many storylines just to like fill some voids. It's like when you're waffling in an essay to meet a workout. Like, Hunt, you don't need to do that. Then on YouTube, I've been watching a lot of Spanians It's All Eats, especially like the ones that are like the worst pizzas in Sydney or the worst kebabs in Sydney, or the worst chicken burgers in Sydney. Oh no, that was the best chicken burgers in Sydney. But anyway, you get my point. I just love how bogan he is, but I love it when he's eating something and he goes, "It's not bad, cuz," and he has all the hand actions and stuff. He's like, "It's really not bad," and I was like, "Oh, it's just so funny." Love it. And the food looks really good though, actually. I also don't know how he just doesn't get that full doing them. I'm like, oh my god, I'd have to like starve for half the day to do that. Or I'd have to like, I could probably do like 2 places a day because it's usually like 4 places he goes to. Anyway, yes, I've been watching that. Then I've been listening to a bit of ABBA again, oldie but a goodie, and a bit of Block Party. Somebody I follow on TikTok does like playlist curation on Spotify, and then she was talking about oldies that were like slept on that people need to revisit, and one of them was Block Party. And I hadn't heard any of Block Party songs, and anyway, I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm looking for something new to listen to. And I was like, oh yeah, this hits. I see. Yeah, yeah. I'm now getting into the trend. Like, I think they were like really famous in like 2005. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm getting into this trend 20 years later. Okay, I see it. Anyway, so that's been really nice. Other than that, F1's still been going. Oscar Piastri is currently leading the World Drivers' Championship, which I'm really happy about. Nice to see an Aussie up there. He's doing really well. I love it. And yeah, that's all I really had to talk about today. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, wonderful month, wonderful week. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.